Right away. Our first one comes from Amir, who writes in and says, if I'm applying for a green card, do I have to disclose that I've had a conviction expunged?
Yes. The easy answer is yes. And of course, you want to do it because you are applying to the federal government besides, and they are one of the exceptions, but they already have the answer. So it doesn't hurt you to be forthright on that.
Okay, all right.
And I would just add to that we talked about certain employers that you have to reveal certain things to. The last thing you want to be doing is when you're speaking to the federal government is have them think that you are not being forthcoming with the facts. I would say I had a conviction for whatever it is. I was eligible to have it expunged. I have had it expunged. Provide the documentation. Talk to an immigration attorney about how best to navigate those waters. That's not my area of specialty, but talk to an immigration attorney about how best to proceed.
Right.
Because we know that after you get your immigration status, if you get a conviction, certain convictions, that can jeopardize your citizenship.
Wow.
So please talk to an immigration attorney if you have a shot at getting a green card, citizenship, residency. It's certainly money well spent.
I think it's very important because some people might automatically think, well, if I disclose that information, it's really going to hurt me. But it sounds like what you're both saying is that by not disclosing it, it could hurt you perhaps even more.
Right, exactly. Let me emphasize something that John said too. For a person who has not yet received their citizenship, they should always make their lawyer aware and the judge aware of their status, because it could have consequences, as John was saying, and so they want to be much more careful about voluntarily entering a plea to certain offenses because of consequences with immigration status.
Okay.
So I think that was excellent that you pointed that out.
Yeah, and let me that's worth taking 30 more seconds. In other words, if you are in the country, in the United States, and you're pleading guilty to a crime, well, suppose you have a green card and you're pleading guilty to a crime. That can affect your citizenship. So extremely important, and I'm glad that Judge Bonin highlighted that. If you're pleading guilty to a crime and you're legally in this country and you got citizenship after coming here, or you came here with permission and got residency, and you're pleading guilty to a crime, you better do that with the advice and consent of an immigration attorney, not just your criminal court attorney who may know nothing about immigration law. That's a really good point.
Well, you know, while we're talking about you know, using an attorney, not using an attorney, I actually came across something on the internet, which was an expungement kit, self-expungement kit. Can people do this on their own, or should they have an attorney? How difficult is this?
I mean, I wouldn't do it on my own off of the internet.
Yeah.
I'd go down to the courthouse and ask someone at the court, if you were, or let's say you were just arrested and nothing ever came of it, you ought to get that off your record. You really should. You should get that expunged from your public record. But go to the courthouse, and they have the forms there, and they can assist you, and it shouldn't even cost you anything.
Okay.
But over the internet, I would be very leery. And don't you agree, John? Like when they do these deals about you can just write your own will.
I would be very wary. But let me add this: we're going to put on the John Redmann Power of Attorney or John Redmann POA website some forms that are offered at the various courthouses, St. Tammany, Jefferson Parish, and Orleans Parish. Some forms that are available, and they're going to look like this. You'll be able to download the PDFs.